Hello. Checking the sound real quick like. My sound sounds terrible. There's always like faint buzzing in the background. I don't know how to get rid of that. I need to just stop one day and I need to actually like figure out like how to make my sound decent. I need to just stop one day and I need to actually like figure out like how to make my sound decent. Also, is my voice always that raspy? Holy cow. I guess so. Man, is Zen still going? Holy cow, girl's unstoppable. It's been like 10 hours. Bro, she does this every day. I don't know how she does it. Ah, man. I really miss the days where I could afford. And she gets crazy viewership too the entire day. Like, I think Mouse just started, and Zen's probably gonna remote into her. She's also doing a collab with like 3 other people, so that explains it too. And I think she might be the only person streaming. I know because she's streaming with Heavenly Father, and I follow him, and he's not showing as live. Speaking of live, I am. Hello, my name is 10K Hours, putting the time so my art is no longer a crime. Today we're back at it like a bad habit. I guess back at it like a good habit, I should say. I've completely forgotten that phrase. And yeah, I am currently in the process of fixing this business. I don't remember if the changes that I made here were made on stream last time or not. But I found out that this like bronzy area was in like not a good spot. It just wasn't. And I also think it needs to be bigger too, which is great. So much easier to work with. Actually, the fact that it needs to be bigger is something that I literally just thought of. But I think if I can fix this, it's going to fix a lot of the issues that I'm having with trying to figure out like the shading in this area. Because I'm pretty sure once I get done with this, then I just need to do like, there's going to be more shadings that need to go into this for sure. And one of them is going to be, it needs to be some darkening right here. Metal's fun. Metal's so much fun. If I can make this look semi-decent though, it's gonna really elevate it. Sort of like how when I actually did the eyes, it made them look good. It made the whole face kind of come together. But today we're gonna mess around with this. I just need to mess around with this more. I really need to be messing around with this off stream a little bit, or else I'm never gonna get this done. Just truly, I'm never gonna get this done. If I only do 2 hours here and there, because it takes me forever to do anything. So, also I was drawing on my iPad earlier today at work because I was bored, and I'm trying to be on Twitter less. Because right now, whenever I get bored at work, I just get on Twitter. Which is bad. Because Twitter's not great. And I'm really starting to hate like doom scrolling and things like that. It just makes me feel bad. And especially since I realized that it's a lot of just people that are either rage baiting, or I'm almost convinced that there are some people that genuinely believe this, but I'm convinced that a lot of like the really big accounts that, or like people that just kind of pop up with like these crazy takes on there, they're just rage baiting. And also, I don't know, there's kind of like a shift that's going on where I think people are just kind of done with all this drama. Like, what is it? There's been like 2 like news tubers recently that have just stopped doing news because they just can't take it anymore. There's Kyo, and then there's Penumbral. Penumbral was even considering just quitting altogether because he's like, I'm just done with all of this. And which stinks because I really like his like, here's what happened in VTubing last week in 60 seconds shorts. I think those are great. He's thinking about switching it up, and both of them are like, I'm done with this like news tuber scene. Just like, I can't take this anymore. And honestly, I understand. It's a lot when your hobby is like filtering through filth to try to find a story. That can get pretty not great on the mind after a while, I would imagine. So I gets it. It makes sense. It makes sense indeed. Scissors gilding. Okay. Alright, because I need to come down here and I need to grab this color, and I just need to, I'm just going to paint in this area. We're just going to do it quick and dirty and be done with it. And then we're going to erase, too small. We're going to erase all this, because this needs to get filled in on the layer below. I need to make sure it is nice and erased. But there's like, that just looks weird, honestly. It being that far down, it just looks weird. You know what? No. We're just gonna do this. This is about the size it needs to be. It really needs to be like around there-ish. And even bigger. Okay. Oh, they're not that big. You know what? Something I just now realized about the design. You can't see this. You can't see that either. They are longer than they are tall. Whatever, it doesn't need to be that perfect. Oh, that would fix a lot of the issues I'm having though, if I did that. Holy cow, would that fix some of the issues that I'm having with like, oh, that's like such a weird angle. Oh my god, now I realize why they did that. Holy cow, holy cow, holy cow. Is it Alt? Oh my god. I'm just gonna do that. I might actually do this, because I think it's gonna fix things. Yeah. That looks better. That looks a lot better. Hold on, let me actually fill it in and see how it looks. Not a lot going on otherwise, other than news tubers kind of giving up doing the news, but not giving up making content, which, you know, good for them. It's good to have a hobby. But I feel like there's just like a lot of burnout and not very good mental health. Just kind of in the streaming space as a whole right now. I feel like it's just a... I feel like it's just like an end of winter thing, or at least I'm hoping it's just like an end of winter thing. And as the weather gets better and people start to get outside more, that's gonna break. But yeah. Oh yeah, and today was Evil Neuro's birthday. I was watching some of that. That was fun. They actually did something for her birthday this year. That was really, really, really funny last year. Oh my god. Metal having everybody forget about her birthday was so funny. Oh my god. Let's see. This might seem kind of obvious, but Vettel's whole channel, and especially Neurosoma, the secret sauce is him. Obviously because, like, none of it would exist if he hadn't, like, made it in the first place. However, that's not what I'm talking about. When I say the secret sauce is him, I do mean that, like, him being on the channel, his ideas and his, like, streamer brain. The friends he's made and, like, the connections he's made, as well as him actually, like, appearing on stream and, like, going over the process of, like, actually creating Neuro and making changes live, especially making changes live and getting, like, live community feedback to it and being like, hey, I'm doing this thing. What do you guys think? I think it's very, very smart because this is a changes made, especially to, like, things like that, can be extremely volatile. Just look at when they try to do stuff with, like, changing Kizuna Ai as, like, voice actor and whatnot, and she wasn't even an actual AI. But like, making choices like that is always very controversial. But the fact that he just, like, does it live is like, hey guys, check this out. I made some tweaks. What do you guys think? Are you liking it? And the fact that the community is actually, like, a part of the process of helping to create her. And you can see, like, obviously, like, the big stuff to, like, the codes and whatnot he does in the background. But, like, the little things that people are going to see, like, every day, and especially how they perceive her, making the community part of that. I doubt it was intentional. But it was very, very smart. As well as, like, creating, like, the quote-unquote, like, Neuroverse with all these other, like, streamers that she's friends with and she hangs out with. like on a regular basis, very smart. Because it has humanized her. It has humanized her, it's humanized evil. Because there's always like, even if Vettel's not there, there's still like that human element there, which is very, very smart. I don't know if he did this all intentionally, but Vettel's got something truly great. Oh man. Sounds like these always make me very sad because I know how temporary it is. And especially kind of in Neuro's case. Because he can just kind of theoretically keep updating her, keep updating like the code that she runs on, and keep moving her to like newer computers, newer servers and things like that. It's very possible that she could outlive him. Which makes me think it's also very possible that there just might be, I mean, maybe the landscape changes significantly and people begin to hate all AI no matter what, and he just has to take Neuro offline. That could happen as well. But I don't know. I think specifically with Neuro and the fact that she can outlive him, and it is indeed possible for him to just, I guess at some point, if she can ever learn how to like purchase and like play like any game that she needs, as well as like set up all her own collabs and everything with people and whatnot, there will eventually come a time where she just doesn't need him anymore. And it's entirely possible that sometime in the far-flung future, he could be dead and Neuro could still be streaming. That's a wild thought to think about. I wonder if there will be documentaries written about that someday. Because I think he's actually created something very, very special. And very, very unique. And I don't know if it will ever be replicated. Well, it'll probably be replicated. But he's the original, he's the OG. I wonder if people will one day see him like, kind of like how people view, like, I guess Kazuna Ai or let's see, who's some other like pioneer in the system? Or I guess like who's like the first person to do something? Who was the first person to make gaming content? On YouTube. I remember back in the day, I remember watching my friend I remember watching my friend play. I remember way back in the day, I was watching like. This was like early to mid 2010s. I remember watching one of my friends in college, and he was watching this guy play. He was watching a Let's Play, and it wasn't called a Let's Play back then. But I thought it was kind of weird because I was like, well, why don't you just buy the game? Lo and behold, a couple years later, in fact, I was already getting in that because I was watching Rooster Teeth and starting to get into like Achievement Hunter at the time. So I was already doing that. I just didn't know it. Going on the same path, I didn't know it. Weird. Man, I don't know. I'm feeling like weirdly contemplative today. And weirdly singy. I was singing. I don't know, but for some reason I've started, especially whenever I'm cooking, I have started singing. Whenever I'm in my kitchen, even if I'm like watching a stream or something like that, I'm gonna just be singing random songs. I've been in a real sing-songy mood lately, and that's good. Because I want to learn how to sing. And I actually think I'm starting to get to a place where it's sounding halfway decent. I will love you over and over again. Doesn't matter where or when, you're mine. What was I singing earlier? Oh yeah, put on happy face. Gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on a happy face. Ooh, what are those? Brush off those clouds and cheer up. Put on a happy face. And spread, and spread, and spread sunshine all over the place. Just put on a happy face. Doesn't really go with the song that we're listening to right now. I'll give you that, but what is all this business? Alright. I like the placements of these a lot better now. Now I can kind of mess with these and figuring out the actual angle of attack of this light. Oh my goodness gracious me, oh I. Oh yeah! I don't know why this thought made me think of this, but freaking the news about the first title update dropped today for Monster Hunter Wilds. I actually really want to get to... My brain isn't working. HR 100. I'm pretty close. I think I'm HR like 82 right now. And I'm just trying to finish off all of the weapons. I want to make all of the weapons for Insect Glaive. That's where we're going. And I'm so stupid. I've also been making some Ardean weapons. I've been trying to update them, and one of the best things that you can do, you can upgrade them. One of the best things to do is to get Orcalicite and to smelt that. And you can do that from leftover monster parts. So I was like, oh, so yesterday I was like, oh, hey, I have a bunch of leftover monster parts I'm not using. I'll just real quick smelt up a bunch of these, get like 38 more Orcalicite, and top off this Paralysis Glaive I'm trying to use, only to find out that I need to leave like 10 of something. That's what I need to do. Because I was leaving like 5. Because I never want to use all of one thing. Because I was like, well, what if I need this? And then I have to go hunt something, and that's just annoying. So I was going through, and I was like adding things and whatnot. And I remember getting to Lalabarina and adding some parts from there, and then being like, wait, hold on a second. I have a tier 8 glaive for Lalabarina that I haven't finished yet. I need to make sure I save back at least a couple extra stuff. So I didn't put in everything. I saved back like 10 of stuff, but I forgot to change the one thing that I actually needed. And I left 5 of one item when I need 6. So I have to go hunt like one more Lalabarina. And it's so annoying. I think I have to anyways to get like the Hunter Symbol 1s. But I really just need like Hunter Symbol 2s and Hunter Symbol 3s right now. I'm trying to just grind for all of those. I spent yesterday getting all the Hunter Symbol 1s. And now, so I can get done with those weapons, and now I'm getting the Hunter Symbol 2s. But I really need to be doing the Tempered Apex, especially Tempered Arkfelds. I need to be doing those. I've saved a couple investigations, but Tempered Arkfeld kicks my ass so much. I just need some... but I got ways to kind of help with that, so we'll see how it goes. Mostly because I got a fully upgraded item prolonger talisman, and I found out that if you do that and you throw on like, I think it's like Mighty Pill, Mighty Drink, not Mighty Pill, Adamant Seed, Mighty Drink, Demon, Mighty, Adamant Seed, whatever, like the attack and defense boosting like buffs. They usually last like 30 minutes or like 15 minutes, but you can get them up to like 45 minutes. Excuse me. With that talisman, and you can just put that on, take your buffs, and go back in the tent, take it off, and then you got those buffs for 45 extra minutes, and it's like an extra like 10 to 15 defense and attack, which is actually a big deal in the game. Anyways, so I think it's going to help me out with dealing with Tempered Arkfeld, because that thing's been kicking my ass. Anyways, and I keep carting to it, so I keep not wanting to fight it. Well, I keep failing those missions, so I keep not wanting to fight it. I'm like, we're done. We're done. We're done. I don't want to do this anymore. It just makes me mad. So yeah. That's where I am right now. Oh yeah, the title update. Meet Tsutsune, which is awesome. High level Zoshia, which is awesomer. Or high rank Zoshia, which is awesomer. And the armor for it looks fucking sick. I'm definitely gonna farm that up. Okay, and now Light's gonna be hitting it over this way. There's gonna be some bones light. maybe I need to temper this back a bit. Wait, hold on. Okay, we need to get rid of that. Oh, that's because that's on that layer. Okay. And then yeah, and then, well, no, actually, hold on. This color is gonna be going up there like this. All right. I don't think this is going to be perfect at the end of the day. I just need to get this to a place where I'm happy with it, really. And then oops. There we go. All right, and then I need to fix this up on layer 6, which just wasn't all over the place with where it needs to be fixed. But it is what it is. Okay, then actually. All right, now here's the real part. That's gonna be super annoying. Okay, so that must be down here on this layer. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I don't think it has a main color. Hold on, I need to fix that. The title update for Monster Hunter's Wilds. Yo, they got Mitsuzune Zoshia. It's eventually going to be Arc Tempered way down, which means they're introducing Arc Tempered monsters. It seems to be one at a time though, because they seem to be special. And then what was the other thing? Oh yeah, it was the hub, which looks great. It also looks like they're bringing Palico cooking back, but it's very specifically going to be like, because they very clearly show this, it's going to be like the 4 like special meals that can be offered to you. And I've always kind of not really gone for those because it's just so annoying. A, to know that they're coming up, and B, then you have to go there and you have to eat them, and usually you're just like, I'm hunting, don't bother me, woman. But still. But, you know. But So I've never really bothered with them other than for like story reasons. But the fact that you can actually get them a lot easier is fan-freaking-tastic. And that's going to make them much more better. Because especially the one that's offered by the oil well basin people, that one gives you an extra carve for the duration, which is crazy. Hold on. I'm not going far enough. There we go. This is being hit with almost like direct light. And then only over here does it ever trail off. I'm going to be thinking about this shading at my sleep. I was definitely thinking about it at work today. I wish I could work from home more. Although that's probably honestly not very good for me because I work from home too much. Work from home every day. I would never get out. Yeah, I'm liking this placement a lot more. I'm glad I went through and I actually went and did this process because it makes this look so much better. Although one thing I am realizing is that I'm kind of messing up how it's done. This is like a cap at the top rather than like an indent in the middle. But frankly, I'm not changing it now. Because that's just too much. And I do need to. This is getting, oh no. Okay, well. This is getting pretty much direct sunlight, so. This needs to be the bright color. I'll tell you what. This is all a pain right now. But I'm hoping in the future it will not be this much of a pain. Yeah, and then yeah, okay. Okay, and then one thing I do need to fix is because right now I don't have this is supposed to be an inner and an outer. And right now it just looks like a Mobius strip, which is not correct. All right, now one thing I want to try, because it's really bothering me. And this is also getting like pretty much direct light. Hold on. This needs to be the light color as well. I'm leaving a little strip of the medium color at the top because that should be a little darker. I have no idea why that just... I think it's because I was... Sorry, I was thinking... All of a sudden, Fauna screaming in a British accent just came into my brain. I had to stop and think why. And I don't know why. It's like, what about what I was doing reminded me of, like... I think that was the first of her streams I ever caught. Actually, I think it was probably around this time last year. Hold up. Because I remembered it was around March. Oh my god. No, it wasn't Euro Truck. What was it? It wasn't Escape Simulator. Let's see. Now, what was this? What was this stream? She played like... Yes! Wow, this was... Yeah, this was 11 months ago. It was... She was playing... I don't remember what it was. It was like... Oh, wait, no. It was... Landlord Super. That's what it was. Okay. I think this was... No. The first stream of hers I watched was... Yeah, this was 11 months ago. It was about a year ago. No, the first stream of hers I watched was... I think her... Goth Fauna reveal. Yeah, that was a year ago. I wonder if she knew then that she was going to leave. I know that, especially from hearing stuff talk about Nimi and how long she had her in the making. She talked about like working with people like in July getting things ready, which was like 6 months before her actual like graduation. And if I had to guess, she had probably made the final decision about a year ago at this time. And had already started like work on it. Man, that'd be a tough secret to keep for that long. Yeah, she probably kept it for almost a year. Because I'm sure that's about how long it took for everything to be finalized and to go through. Sheesh. It's gotta be tough. It's gotta be so difficult to leave something like that. I couldn't imagine. I only kinda can, if I'm gonna be honest. Of course, I've left stuff like that, but not by choice. Like, well, no. My leave, when I left teaching, it's something that I'd honestly been thinking about for a while now. A while. And funnily enough, it was a guy who came in and he was talking to the students about like jobs in the tech field and like IT and stuff like that. And it was like just like a mini thing, and like one of the classrooms that another teacher was having one day, and they asked if my students would like to come over. I was like, yeah, sure. And I came over and I watched this, and I remember at the end of it they had like, yeah, there's this program like blah blah blah, you can take this. And I remember thinking to myself the whole time he was talking, like, that job sounds great. And I remember even I grabbed one on my way out. Especially because the guy himself mentioned that he used to be a teacher himself before he got into that field. I don't know why that just kind of hit me. I never did anything with it, and it wasn't until like I moved back to be with family and I was forced to like change my job because no one was hiring teachers. At least no one was hiring me. It was only then. I can't. But even back then I knew that I was already thinking it. I didn't know, but I was already thinking it. It probably started out like that for her if I had to think about it. You know, they say the grass isn't always greener on this other side, but here's the truth. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. Sometimes it is. But no matter what, it's just a change of scenery, which sometimes is all you need. It's gotta be so hard to walk away from something like that. She's like, as Fauna, she was one of the top 100 most super chatted YouTube streamers in the world, which is crazy. There are so many people that stream on YouTube, and to be in the top 100 is insane. Like, she made I think it was around 850K, which is nuts. You might think, oh man, but that's before that's before all the other cuts. So monetization from the VODs, which weren't crazy, but as well as merch and things like that. I talked about this last time. She's probably a millionaire, which is crazy to think about. I don't know what they're doing with the people at Hololive, but they have some crazy hiring practices. Like, there's a lot of like, not necessarily young, some of them are very young. I know Hachima especially. I think she was actually hired when she was 16 to be a streamer for Hololive, which is, I don't think, something that they would do today. But some of them are very, very young. Most of them are probably in their late 20s, early 30s. So they have a little bit of space, but a little bit more wisdom. That's still pretty young. And then especially if they take off, like, damn, that's... Like, if it, like, imagine becoming a millionaire overnight, pretty much. It's not quite what it was like. But I do know Callie, on her, like, outside work, extracurricular activities, I do know she's been able to, like, afford to put on her own concerts and shows and things like that on her, like, non-Hololive persona. Probably because of being muy Calliope, paid for a lot of that. But even then, there's some of them that still do, like, normal things. Like, I know Ina is still just an illustrator. She still just does that normal job, which I think is probably... I very much doubt that she needs to. In fact, she definitely doesn't need to. But... I think she does that more for her. Because one thing I've noticed is that the three people... There's... especially Myth, who've been there the longest. They've been there for like 5 years. The three people that have experienced like the least burnout are also the three people that I know for a fact have like outside extracurricular activities that they do. Something that's just for them. So Kiara has cosplay, Callie has her own music, Ina does illustrations. I recently found out about the Ina one. As far as I know, Gura doesn't do anything. She'll like talk about like Pilates and like gardening and things like that. But to me, it seems like the people who have something that's like outside of their job, that's like just outside of being a streamer, that's like just for them. That's a passion project. Even if it's monetized, but something that's an actual like passion project. That's this for just for them and not related to anything else. I think that might be kind of the secret sauce there to avoiding burnout, or at least part of the secret sauce. Because hell, I'm streaming to myself right now. I remember around... streaming to myself. And even me around like... what was it, like June, July, August, September last year? I couldn't draw for the life of me. Couldn't even bring myself to pick up a pen. I can't imagine. I can imagine that for somebody who this is their all day, every day. And especially when it's a thing that's like makes you your money and whatnot. Or I think even less, it's like the thing that you did for like fun and turned into your career. And now like all like the fun's been squeezed out of it because you have to just kind of keep it going. Yeah. Why is this not working? Why does the blend brush work? Blend brush does not work. Okay. Am I gonna have to paint over this? Okay, I'm gonna try something. That was almost that's why nothing was working, because I was on the wrong layer. Oh my god. Okay, I need to turn down the intensity of this blue. No, I need blend. I need to turn down the intensity of this blend quite a bit. I almost need like a color stretch. Actually, I might be able to mimic it with this. Okay, maybe if you turn the hardness up, turn the stretch down. Let's put it like 30. Okay, that actually looks close to what I want. Okay. Yeah, that is actually doing it. There's something about the blend brush. I could not imagine doing all of this like freehand. Like, listen, the more I do digital art, the more respect I have for people who do like traditional art. Because they don't have all the tools that we do that just like, oh, make this look good, essentially. You can play around with stuff, you can undo. Like, now if you mess it up, you gotta like fix it, and it can be a time-consuming process. You can't just be like, oops, undo, redo, undo, redo, undo, redo, undo, redo, blah, 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 blah. Redraw the same line a billion times. Of course, they probably still do that, but they have to erase in between. That probably gets... well, I was about to say that probably gets monotonous, but it probably... so used to it, they don't even realize it. Also coming up, Kayla's having a... I don't know if she's talked about this. I've heard her just kind of message it. She's having like a re-debut. I'm not really sure. Tomorrow morning. I'm not really sure, like... is it gonna be like Iris? But it seems like... it's like a full... not like a full change, but just like an art update to her original model. I'm not entirely sure why. I know they've done stuff like this in the past, especially with Iris. Like, listen, Iris's first model was not my speed. Don't get me wrong, she looks great now. Iris's first model was not my speed. Every once in a while I will see glimpses of it. I'm like, oh, that's okay. But Kyla seems to be doing the same thing. I keep wanting to say Kayla, but it's Kyla. She seems to be doing something similar, although I'm not sure why. Her original model looks great. Maybe something happened with... It's entirely possible something happened with the person who was like her art mom. Like the person who did her art. I'm sure there's a reason behind it, but I don't really know the reason behind it. But I do know that one thing with HoloLens people is that they can only ever have one person that does the art for them. And no one else can use that same artist. So it might be that something happened with the person who did her art, and maybe she just can't, or that person just can't do models for her anymore. So they gave up the contract and gave it to somebody else. And they need to start fresh. That's entirely possible. I'm sure Kyla's probably mentioned this before. I don't know. But how does this look from a distance? It's looking better, that's for sure. But I was not in those streams when she did. Anyways, I'm gonna be watching that tomorrow. Luckily for me, it starts right about the time I wake up in the morning, or at least I have to wake up in the morning. A lot of new models outfits recently. There's one for Zeta today, Kyla's tomorrow, and then there's one for Crony. I feel like Crony's, Commander Crony one wasn't that too long ago. Of course, that was a little while ago. It was last year, so. Crony has a maid one coming up, which is crazy. Although something tells me that this is going to be a big joke. Not in a way, but people will be telling her like, oh yeah, do this. I'm just like, oh yeah. Like, oh hey, Tomato-san, can you do this for me? Tee-hee. And she'd just be like, yeah, sure, I'll get right on that. Leaves and go. And she leaves and goes, does something else. Although she's a bit of a troll. She's a bit of a troll, but when she's done with something, she's done with something. Like, I remember the time she did that NPC stream. When that was a thing. Actually, it was, NPC streams were like done being a thing when she did that, but that was probably when they got the permission to be able to do that, so. Or she just began to try it. Who knows? All right, how does this look now? Very amateurish still. but that's all right. We just gotta get this to a place where I'm satisfied with it more than anything. Shaking my whole desk. Straighten out this line a bit. What the heck? Oh, that's why. That's up here in this level. I was like, why am I drawing this not doing anything? I wonder when the 4th ID gen will be. Although we did just have the 4th EN branch gen about not even a year ago. I think they're going to be slowing down on debuts other than like Flow Glow and whatnot. Not Flow Glow, Device. Which is like their more like music focused group. Bro, I need something else to talk about besides all. It doesn't help that I was watching them right before this started. Actually, no, I was watching Shiina. No. I was finishing up her first Black Mesa stream. She's doing another one, and I wanted to be able to watch it. And not be behind. Not be behind. I don't like it, but I don't know how to do any better. I like it more than I did previously, but gosh, I just gotta get to a point where I'm satisfied. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I am not satisfied. It doesn't help that this is very weird metal. And has a lot of very weird angles to it. And a lot of very bright lights on it as well. Kind of painted myself into a corner, I guess you could say, drawn myself into a corner. I don't know, I'm not satisfied. I think I'm just gonna need to come back to this. I'm gonna take some time fixing the lighting situation over here because I kind of messed this up without realizing it. because there should be... should be quite a bit more light on certain parts, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. And especially on the clothes too. Actually, no, I think that's good because it's going to be hitting here and these are going to be in shadow. Although we do need to... we do need to put a shine on our ass, unfortunately. I'm going to blend this just a tiny bit. Just around the edges. So it's not quite so. Abrupt. There we go. And then especially the leggings as well need it. Let's see. I think I've kind of nailed this leg, except for this area right here. This leg especially needs some fixing. There we go. Oh, no, I need to go to this layer. Okay, and then I need this color. This. A little bit more light. All right. And then I should really hit the... Do I want to leave the... What did they do up here? They left a little bit of black, but it's really just darknesses around the actual like bands. And it's very light. Not nearly as thick as I've done it. Okay. We need to fix this up. Okay. Wait, hold on. I've made mistakes. Because I never did the actual, like, bands. Okay, because they're gonna be... They're going to be in shadow too, but they're going to be just a little off. Can't believe I didn't do these before. All right. plan B on this leg? Would it really be covered up? I don't have the brain power for that right now. Alright, I really want to focus on the fixing up these lines. Let's grab this color again. Much better, much better. Also, with the amount of times I've had to switch up these kinds of lines, I have made the oh so needed decision to just make my canvases bigger. Like, I have a canvas on my iPad that's like 4,500 by 4,500. And I'm just doing the line art with like a 5-pixel pen to just avoid this in the future. Because it's just annoying because I have to go back over everything because my line art is too big because I don't like it big. I like really thin line art. I need to lean into that. Because that's part of the style that I'd like to have. Have to do all this fixing. So, made a commitment. From here on out, bigger canvases, thinner line art, so I don't have to do shit like this in the future. Because I end up doing this every time. And it drives me crazy until I do it. So let's just do it right. Because I think I'm to the point where now it's time for me to start, like, figuring out ways to do it better. So I'm not, like, constantly making the same mistakes and having to fix them in the same way, you know? There's got to be a better way of doing things. To be a better way of doing things. That's one thing I really don't like about my art is how long it freaking takes me to do anything. I do need to get back into practicing just like basic form though, because it takes me forever to draw a person. But it's really the rendering process that takes me so long. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Drawing goes faster and faster every time, but the rendering process does not seem to be getting faster. spend forever on this. I need to be working on this. I need to be working on this off line as well. I don't have a lot of time off. Well, I do have a lot of time offline. But how am I supposed to play Monster Hunter and do this? I really need to be doing this during work, whenever I work from home. I really wish I could work on this. This probably is a way that I could, like, save this to the cloud or something like that. So I could work on this on my iPad when I'm at work or whatnot. But here's the thing, I don't want to work on this on my iPad when I'm at work. Because... yeah. I don't want someone seeing this, thinking the wrong thing, and reporting me, if I'm going to be honest. Okay. Yeah, I like that more. I just like that more. I need to change the colors a bit. But alright, that's something for another time. It's almost 10 o'clock. Alright. This has been good. I almost didn't stream today, but I'm glad I did. There's something else to talk about besides Hololive. Anyways, I'll probably be back, not tomorrow, probably Thursday. Yeah. Anyways, I'll see you later. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun, but it has not been a fun reel. And y'all have a good one.